You're watching a clip from the Club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go, is a lovely clip from our podcast.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome to the Club. Now, before we get into this clip, I need to let you know that we have partnered with NordVPN. Now, let's face it, everybody needs a little bit of VPN action in their life, and NordVPN is the place to go. They have such wonderful offers on. It is a brilliant service, and it is so affordable. That's right, it is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee, so make sure that you check out their offer. The link is in the description below. It is NordVPN/the Club. Now, while I'm saying it's so cheap, it's also very important to remember that there is literally no jeopardy in this for you, because if you try it out and you don't like it, they have a money-back guarantee. So you really must try NordVPN. Furthermore, it is a Times 2022 Invention of the Year. And check this out. One account will allow you to register 6 different devices. 6 different devices to one account. You simply have to check it out. Thank you so much to NordVPN for sponsoring the club. I hope you enjoy the clip.
Talking about both strikers that scored this weekend. Harry Kane, whose goal against Brighton feels a little bit acrimonious.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And Erling Haaland, who scored a bicycle kick that was unbelievable, and another goal to make it 30 goals in a single Premier League season. 4 behind the great Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, 2 behind Mohamed Salah, and it's early April. Who would you take in a Champions League final right now for Chelsea in a one-off game, Harry Kane or Erling Haaland? Where are you ranking them?
I think it's a very interesting one, actually, Buvey, because I think Harry Kane is a better player. Overall, I think Harry Kane is a far better player. I think he's a more complete footballer. I think he's as good at finishing. I just don't think he has the service. And I think overall, Kane is a better product. I really do. However, while I will wax lyrical and be incredibly complimentary about Kane as a footballer, I think maybe I don't necessarily cut deep enough when we discuss him about his lack of silverware. Like, he is part of the Tottenham team that hasn't won things. He's part of the England team that hasn't won things. He has had those opportunities. He has been the jewel in the crown in cup finals and hasn't delivered. So this question, to answer this question accurately, I can't pick Harry Kane for a final. I can pick Harry Kane for a league season.
Yeah, and just for everyone listening, I use that only in the narrative of, in a football transfer world, we talk about, you'd obviously, I think 99% of the world would sign Erling Haaland on a 3-year contract right now over Harry Kane because of the age, because of the ceiling that where this kid could go. But in a one-off game, I think it's just interesting to kind of see.
In a one-off game, I go Haaland. It's weird because I go the other way to you.
You're going to Haaland then?
In a one-off game...
I'm getting there now. I always used to be, I'm pro Harry Kane, and what I saw him do for England, I've seen him become, maybe top 3 strikers in the history of this country. And I'm an England fan. I say that with massive respect. It's getting to the point now where Erling Haaland is scoring inevitable goals. He'll be scoring goals to win his first league title in a serious league in Europe, with all due respect. And
but remember, it's context is key. Like, it's far easier to score goals with Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish than it is Højbjerg, an out-of-form shot.
You've picked some terrible, but you haven't picked Son from last season, who was amazing. No. Kulusevski's fantastic.
They're not comparable to any of the players that I just said.
No, but I don't think they're far off. And Harry Kane's been there a long time.
It's far easier scoring goals for Pep Guardiola than it is Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, or Nuno Espirito Santo, or Ryan Mason.
The ball that De Bruyne pings onto Erling Haaland, first goal against Southampton, you're right. The goal that he makes for himself is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It's got a bit of Ruud van Nistelrooy about it. Erling Haaland is now, for me, he's approaching... It's almost like a weekly basis. He's getting closer and closer to. He's not just a good poacher. I've seen him being compared to kind of just normal finishers, like a kind of Robbie Fowler kind of level player. No, this guy's beyond that. He's actually influencing games.
No, the volume of goals,
major ways.
The volume of goals. Like, I remember having this argument before, like regarding Henrik Larsson. I remember when I was really young, Henrik Larsson was scoring loads of goals in Scotland, and the question would be, would you think he could do it in the Premier League? I was like, yeah, because he's not scoring the same amount as Chris Boyd, is he? He's scoring like triple whoever. Like, it's a different level. It's a totally different. Yeah. So Erling Haaland is just sensational. It's like mind-blowingly good. But I think if Chelsea were to sign one of the two, look, the issue is age, right?
Yeah.
But say you could have one for one season. Now
it'd probably be Harry Kane, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if Chelsea can have one or the other next season only, and it's only about one season, I think I still pick Kane. If Chelsea can sign one for a 3-year contract or a 4-year contract, of course it's Erling Haaland. And the player that I think Erling Haaland will be when he is Harry Kane's age.
That's where I was going to go with it and ask you, because for me, I see him, he could end his career in terms of numbers being top 5 in the history of football, in terms of strikers. Obviously, European football, obviously, I'm predominantly talking about. But we're seeing this guy score, he's gonna outscore Andy Cole. He's going to outscore Mohamed Salah.
Well, mate, if he stays in the Premier
Shearer.
League, if he stays in the Premier League, I have no idea what the ceiling is. Like, I feel like, and I don't think he gets this, I think Erling Haaland should be in contention for the Ballon d'Or. Like, I don't really see how he isn't.
No, him, Benzema, Messi for the Argentina World Cup.
Yeah, I don't really have Messi in the Ballon d'Or this year.
Really?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's been particularly good at PSG. It's not going well, is it? So no, I mean, and
I would for the World Cup.
I don't think that's a Ballon d'Or.
I think it weighs heavily for the Ballon d'Or.
Is that a Ballon d'Or?
I think you could score 65 goals in the Premier League title race. I don't think the Ballon d'Or would rank it, and that's why we've not had many winners from this country, from this league.
If you look at what the Ballon d'Or is supposed to represent, Erling Haaland's had a better year than Lionel Messi.
I wouldn't agree.
What if he wins a league?
I know the spectrum of a World Cup is 7-8 games. I know what you mean. It's tournament football. But what Messi achieved and how he played in, especially in the final.
But Messi will get it probably, but he'll get it cumulatively, won't he? He'll get it.
That's what I mean. That as well in terms of I understand how the Ballon d'Or kind of operates.
What I mean is, say Messi didn't play in the World Cup and Julian Alvarez had the exact same contribution to that team. You wouldn't be saying Julian Alvarez for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But Messi's contribution was so unique that no other player could have done it. And I think Erling Haaland, unless Erling Haaland wins I think he'd have to win the Champions League this season with City, which is obviously a very possible, it's a possibility. He needs to, we've not seen it yet. We've not seen him in the business end of, you mentioned the League Cup final that Harry Kane got to, the Euros final that Harry Kane got to, and the Champions League final that he got to. He was ineffectual. He was non-existent. We've not seen that with Erling Haaland at Man City.
No.
Yet. We've not seen him in an FA Cup final. That could still happen this season.
That's interesting, actually.
Bayern Munich.
You're playing Bayern Munich. So if he scores 2 against Bayern Munich, suddenly the Kane question is over. It's over.
Yeah.
Because
I can't think of a Champions League goal, big ones. I can't think
of Kane?
Really big ones.
No, I mean, their big night was Lucas Moura. Yeah, weirdly.
Ajax without him.
Their weird night was Lucas Moura.
His trackies.
Yeah, Lucas
Moura.
No, look, if Erling Haaland scores 2 against Bayern, if he does something spectacular in the title race run-in, and you're still in the FA Cup. And we're on for an all-Mancunian FA Cup, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm probably in the minority here. I don't think everyone will agree with me. I think you will, though. If Erling Haaland wins the FA Cup for Man City in an all-Mancunian final, that's already better than Kane. Like, that's it. That's already better than Kane.
I think Weghorst has got a better career than Harry Kane now, because the League Cup win against Newcastle United in front of 80,000 people.
I'll always rate Silva.
I do.
I think I know what you do. You've kind of gone extreme to demonstrate the point, but I agree with your point. I don't agree with your example, obviously, and I know you don't agree with your own example. But I agree with your point.
Yeah.
Silverware weighs very heavily. But this is the thing about Kane. I honestly believe that he will end his career with top-tier silverware. I truly believe it. I think he will go to
Spurs.
No, of course not. No, if he stays at Tottenham, he won't end it with a thing. But I think he will leave Tottenham. I think he will go to Manchester United. I think he will lead Manchester United to proper silverware. Annoyingly,
yeah.
I think annoyingly. What that is, I don't know. But I think that
I don't even know if that deal materialises. I think United will look at the difficulty with Spurs.
Such an easy signing. It's such a good sign. It's such an obvious signing. Like, remember, they got Wouty up front. Like, it's such an upgrade. It's a mental upgrade. And can you imagine the player that Marcus Rashford is with Kane there? Can you imagine the player that even the players that you don't necessarily rate that highly, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, Jadon Sancho, can you imagine what they're like with Harry Kane there? Like, it's going to, and don't get me wrong, Manchester United are going to be elevated by Kane's presence, but Kane will be elevated by being a club and given a platform at Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it'd be the right move for Harry Kane, 100%.